see. Yes, well, oh, golly, almost forgot. You can take the scientist out of the lab, but not the lab out of the scientist. So there we go. It's to keep me honest. And also so I can see how I'm doing. So, as I didn't realize that a sex joke was required, so allow me to, of course, follow the trend. So, just as people say things like, orange is the new black, good show, but anyway, and gardening is the new sex, which I cannot imagine what kind of gardening you're into. But then, I have my own thoughts on this topic, which is, I think a new experiment or a new protocol is the opposite of sex. Do you know why that is? Simple, because the first time you try a protocol, it almost never works, and also it lasts much, much longer than you could possibly anticipate. Unlike sex. Anyway, so still under the scientific umbrella and scientific discoveries, you're still enjoying that one, eh? That, a very wise man once said that all mushrooms are edible, just some of them only once. Which is very, very true. And since, we're in November now, Christmas is not that far off, so I thought, let's do a Christmas story. Nothing to do with miraculous births, but Santa Claus and his flying reindeer. I don't know if any of you know how on earth did this whole flying reindeer stuff come about. Amazingly, not by greeting card companies. It's all about deadly mushrooms. Some of you may already know this one, judging by your reaction. That there's a kind of mushroom which for us poor humans is deadly if you eat it. But for those lovable reindeer, strangely, they're harmless. And on top of that, the mushrooms that the reindeer chow down on, it makes the active ingredient of the mushroom harmless, but it's psychoactive for humans. And so, amazingly, someone, somehow, and I'm not sure I want to know the how, discovered that if you drank reindeer urine, after these reindeer have munched on some of these high-quality mushrooms, that suddenly you'll go on a trip and start hallucinating. And of course, the first thing you see is a reindeer turning around going, what exactly are you doing? I mean, sorry, how thirsty do you have to be? I mean, reindeers hang out in snow, frozen water, quenching thirst, but no, I'll take that hot reindeer exhaust, thank you so much. And so no wonder the first thing they see is a reindeer floating through the sky as they see their grandparents float past. Exactly, so hence the whole Santa Claus is flying reindeer. But how exactly do you come back to the village and goes, whoa, Skarsgård, I thought you were dead. It's like, yeah, I thought I was going to die of thirst too. So how did you survive? Don't want to talk about it. But amazingly, there is a connection to the bit I'm going to do next. So some of you have maybe heard of a gentleman called Sir Walter Raleigh. Maybe you haven't, it's not essential. Basically, Queen Elizabeth, the original classic, Queen Elizabeth I, then she was a big fan of his, and she would send him off to the New World, and he would bring back presents for her to basically earn popularity, duh. So he brought back the potato from the New World. And so there he is turning up at court, and it's like, you can picture the harpsichord music playing, he comes and goes, my queen, I've brought forth this fantastical tuber from the New World. My word, Sir Raleigh, whatever does it do? Don't you worry, I have got this handy pot of boiling water, just give me 10 minutes, you will be amazed at what happens. And sure enough, oh, amazing, Sir Walter Raleigh, mashed potato, you say, fantastic. Go off and bring us some more stuff. But he also brought back that dreaded herb, tobacco. And yeah, exactly. Well, some of you are big fans, some of you maybe not so much. I personally don't do that sort of thing. But anyway, the point is, lucky for Sir Walter Raleigh, they actually were smoking it in the New World because they didn't always take it in the way that you might expect. And because after all, basically Native American shamans, they would gather together a whole bunch of tobacco plants and they would mash them and grind them and put them in water. They would boil them and boil them and boil them and eventually create this sort of blob of tobacco-y concentrate, and then, wait for it, they would stuff it up their bottoms. And this contains so much nicotine, which is absorbed through, well, that department. They would suddenly be overdosing on nicotine and be seeing their grandparents floating in the sky, almost like the reindeer situation. And rather than thinking, well, we're not going to let him do that again, no, instead it's like, whoa, it is the vision quest. He can connect to the ancestors, get some more of that stuff on the boil. And yet still, I mean, I know I'm a good scientist, but I also know I am not a good cook. I'm a terrible cook, in fact. I know my limitations, and I've had my fair share of mishaps in the kitchen. I mean, yes, I have spilled, I have burned, I have undercooked, I have overcooked, I have added the wrong ingredients, but never, ever, ever, ever have I managed to put any of my creations into my behind. So how precisely did they come up with, well, let's see now, I mean, we've got this nice new plant, we boiled it into a blob, what are we going to do with it? There's so many possibilities. Eat it? Nah, it's been done before. But no, I mean, I have visions of, like, the chieftain of the Native American tribe going, okay, Dances with Cutlery, if you produce one more lousy quality dessert, I'm going to take that dessert and stuff it up your bottom. And then he's like, don't you worry, big chief, I've got the finest thing you are going to love. I call it Tobacco Surprise. Until Dances with Cutlery had a nasty surprise, and then got to be the shaman instead of the cook. But still, it set me thinking, good grief, thank goodness Sir Walter Raleigh didn't arrive minutes after that little debacle, because surely then he arrives at court. My queen, I bring forth this fantabulous plant from the New World. Oh my word, Sir Walter, whatever does it do? Don't you worry, I've got myself a stove right here. If you could just bend on over and remove your bloomers. Quicker than you can say, off with his head, his career is over. But no, lucky for him, no. It didn't come down that way. Instead, he's addicted the whole globe to tobacco. But actually, in the process of trying to do the background research for this routine, I decided to try and find a reference to the whole Native American, tobacco situation. But then I stumbled upon something even better. I mean, how can it be even better? Well, strap on in, because this gets weird. Because, think about it, CPR was only invented around 1950, 1960, I cannot remember exactly. Point is, that was when CPR was a thing. Before then, if your heart stopped, I'm sorry, we did what we could. So, more than 150 years before that, there was a problem that, the Thames River in London was terribly cold, and if someone fell in there, if they were dragged out, well, there's nothing we can do. And sure enough, there was a honest-to-goodness account of, well, a woman's body was dragged out of the Thames. She was blue, she was cold as ice. Hope had given up. The doctor was not sure what to do. But then, and this is the honest truth, but I don't know if the sailor was in fact Scottish, but for the dramatization, I will make him Scottish. So, the doctor's there, scratching his head over this woman's unconscious body, and sure enough, this man shouts out from the boat, "Hey, doctor, what you should do is grab some tobacco, get the smoke, and blow it up her bottom." And the doctor did not go, go back to your rum, you weirdo, what's wrong with you? No, he was like, by Jove, that's a brilliant idea. Grab the bellows, get a hot coal, I think we can save this woman. And this is how it started. They got a set of bellows for the fire, and then they got some tobacco, filled those bellows with nice hot tobacco-y goodness, jabbed it into the woman's posterior, and sure enough, bah! She's back alive! It's a revelation. Suddenly the medical community is thrown on its head. They're thinking, fantastic, we can resurrect the dead when they're brought out of the Thames. And this was also 100 years before life preservers, so instead of there being stations along the Thames with red and white doodads ready if you see someone drowning, throw it. No, instead, there were stations along the Thames, I kid you not, with handy-dandy sets of bellows and a coal and some old peculiar tobacco ready to go. It's like, in case of drowning, light the coal. I mean, seriously? Man, being a doctor in those days was easy. Just do some crazy crap. I mean, you've heard the phrase blowing smoke up someone's ass. That's where it came from. I mean, really? But also, it's, as a scientist, I have too much spare brain time on my hands. So I was thinking to myself, just as in the modern day, when someone doesn't want, heroic measures to be used to extend their life, they get DNR tattooed across their chest. Very dramatic, very American. And yeah, that's a thing. But I thought to myself, so 200 years ago, how would you have a DNR done? And I had visions of, so do you have like a tramp stamp of a no smoking sign on your behind? So if you pull me out of the Thames, I don't want no bellows up my bottom. I want to go when my time has come. Thank you so much. And you guys have been terribly kind. Thank you so much.
for a little break. You've got some